Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your all every time. And
when you're young and you get in the old man Superstock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Daddy. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?
Welcome along, everyone, to your Wednesday show in the cockpit with KINSER. My good mate Booker from Bump and Run joins us on this rather chilly Wednesday. You can tell daylight savings coming to an end on this Sunday, so clocks go back 1 hour. That also means we'll get a lot closer to those wintry months. How you going, Books? Looks like you're chilling out, mate.
Mate, it's pretty cold here out of my shed. Bloody snow on the mountains and shit. I tell you, I feel like I'm living back in the Manawatu again. I tell you. But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm excited. Another good weekend of Speedway coming up this week. There's some big things on. I'm excited. We get to talk to Pete. I feel like I'm redeeming this show a wee bit after we stuffed up with Pete, Asher, and Ethan and Josh that night in Hamilton. Yeah. So I feel good. We can redeem ourselves a little bit there, mate. But yeah, it's good. A few people watching, tuning in, saying g'day. So hello to all. Kins normally calls out your names. He's more onto it than me. He can see more. But hey, yeah, mate. It's good. It's good to be back. Good to be back, mate.
Good to see you, mate. You know, it was a big weekend just gone of the Speedway course over in Gizzy, number 11. That's Carl Carpendale. I'll call him Mr. Levin. There seems to be Levin on everything at the moment, so good to have him on board. Tans from down there in the region. We were hoping to go down there for the North Island Superstocks, but we didn't make it down there. So Tans, thanks for jumping on. Pinako Rawiri's on board. Our good friend Sparky. Dwayne Martin, Ams has jumped in as well. Kia ora to Lucas Loveridge as well. Dave Thomas, Steve Murray, Cody Toombridge, also Steve McDonald, Brian England, Peter Rose, Dave Thomas, Daniels jumped in there. Scott Honeybones joined us. I knew Wayne Otter would come in, mate. It is a bit chilly. You can tell my frosty bloody hero, mate. Yeah, Scrapper 44 back in the day on Lucas. So awesome. Paul Mason, and the list just goes on. Big Spraybrook as well.
I see David Thomas has put, Booker, you're not at the meeting at Miani. No, Thomas, because you guys are far more important. I need to do the show first. So, and I already know all the backstory of the what's happening at Miani. So, but I've kept my mouth shut. So, because we're good like that at Cockpit.
Yeah. Here you got the inside knowledge, so we're not going to reveal any of that while they're currently in their meeting. There's a lot going on there as well. Obviously, yes. Miani hosting next year's New Zealand Superstock Champs. I'm guessing traditionally early January 24. Steve Murray, how you going, Steve? Madu, always good to catch up, Madu. It's Mr. Councillor in Books back on the show. Paul maybe as well, and we got quite a bit coming up on the show. Obviously, it's quite a busy month. April's just around the corner this coming weekend, and one of the big events that gets underway obviously is the Rees Race Cars big event, and you've seen it all over our posters on our social media platform. We've been promoting it, and of course, well, we had to have the man himself, Peter Rees, join us.
Yeah, but before we do that, mate, a lot of people know I've been looking for a camper for a while now, and that's going to be my home, and it's going to be a Cockpit Media mobile show as well when we do stuff.
And you're going to go on the Rees tour down South Island.
I am going to do the Rees tour next year, and I am going to go live with everything. So all you people can watch the Rees tour with me. But I won't be streaming the racing, but everything else, like following Pete and the team and everybody else that's on that tour, we're going to have a frickin' hoot, mate. It's going to be better than sliced bread, mate, this Rees tour next year. Now I've got my bus, my home, and the kid will be there, mate. We'll be documenting everything. So for Tans and that in Stratford, there you go. Look, there she is. Oh, what have I done there? Oh no, I've stuffed everything up.
Mix it up. Bring it up.
Hang on, I've lost everything. Look at this box is stuffed up, big time.
He's
there we go.
Excited.
There we go. Look, the big rig. Now, what I've also done is a few people have seen it, but here we go. We've got a couple of options for her for how we're going to do it. So we could have that as our Cockpit Media So you guys can tell us what you think of this. Books' big rig's going to be travelling the country, Speedway, and well, that design there, look at that one, Kins. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Hey, look at your big mug on the side of my bloody home.
you need to put the bump and run on the back, I reckon, Book, so when they see you, people can bump you, then carry on running past you.
Well, since we race the buses and we love the Pollux so much, we could even do a Pollux Busters bus. But those are my options. I've purchased this, so this is going to go on the Rees tour, and it's going to help us with the show as well. So I'm pretty excited about that we can do all that, and we can do our at the end of season shows, Kins, that we want to do, and go do nights in people's club rooms and sheds and stuff, and just have some fun and enjoy the off season with people, eh?
Well, what you want to do when you go on the Rees tour, mate, you're going to have to not do that orange bloody colour. You're going to have to make it a Gisborne Giants colour.
I might have to make a Giants bus, you reckon? A special Giants wrap for it, eh?
Yeah, you got to do
might
it
have to be too, or maybe just a big Rees, around a Rees tour bus, hey?
Well, they got a big fundraiser coming up, which we'll talk to Pete about as well. There's a fundraiser, obviously, and
you have Gisborne, yes, they're doing all sorts.
So,
well, let's not waste any time. Should we get him in here, eh? What do you reckon?
Yeah, bring him in, mate.
Let's bring Pete in. How are you, Pete?
Hey, Pete.
You guys are characters, are all right.
I like that idea though. You got to do a Giant and a Rees bloody bus, say, on that tour with you guys down South Island, mate. You got to do it.
You just got to be there, I'd say.
Yeah, mate. It's I'm looking forward to. I said to Ethan the other night when I spoke to him that I'm going to come along and I'm going to document it, and we're going to go live with different things and just have some fun, mate. It's going to be. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I got to see the end of the last one in Woodford Glen a few years back, and man, I loved it. And it was only the last bit I got to see.
Jason's going to follow it with the Pits Media, so everything
cool.
will be alive
Jump on
there.
board.
Yeah.
Awesome. I got a name for your bus there, our Book's little house trap. You're going to call it the Hoot Nanny.
I saw that's just been put up by Amaron. Here it comes. Hey, so let's talk. This meeting's been a long time in the making, Pete. This weekend.
Yeah, COVID stuffed us. Other dates clashed. Probably moved it 3 or 4 times a couple of years, but it's going to happen this weekend, and the weather's looking actually all right up in Gisborne.
Yeah, where you go?
Carry on, bro.
You go, kids.
You go.
I was just going to say, I think that it'll be good for the area too, for the people down that way to just get out from all the underneath all the crap that's happening down that way and just get out and enjoy themselves for the night at your big meeting too, mate. I think that's it's come at the right time as well for that.
Yeah, there was actually mention of cancelling the rest of the season, including this meeting. But when they think about it, there's not a lot to do in Gisborne, especially when you're stuck there. The road's closed south. Quite a hard place to get to the best of time. So have a speedway, and the locals will go and watch, enjoy it.
100%.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, bring them a bit of fun and a bit of entertainment, like you said. It's been a bit rubbish over the last few weeks, especially with Highway 35 still locked down and everything like that. What's the feedback been like, Pete? Everyone all excited to come to Gizzy?
Oh, it's a challenge. You can see why promoters have a bit of a headache organising things like this. And I haven't organised bugger all. I'm just supplying the prize and perhaps getting some competitors up there. But feedback this week after North Islands last week has just grown and grown and grown. And the club are putting on a fundraiser fun night thing on the Friday night. And that's got people real keen to get there, and a little bit of hype starting to happen in the last couple of days. So I'm actually looking forward to it, and I'm going up a day early to enjoy it.
Awesome.
Wicked, mate. Yeah, you made mention of just quickly the North Island Superstock champs. It's Stratty just recently, obviously, a couple of big nights there for the Rees family.
It was a good event actually, and well done Stratford and all the people that looked after us. I mean, next to our club, they're like the friendly West Coast type thing. We're on the East Coast. But they ran it well. It was challenging for us with that track, and that track's a real equaliser as far as going fast goes. But Yeah, good event, and we actually really enjoyed it. We all qualified, so we got to do 2 nights top racing and caught up with everyone, and I think the spectators got pretty well entertained.
Yeah, hard out, mate. And of course, one of your fellow Giant members walked away with the trophy, obviously, Jamie Hamilton.
Yeah, well, how good is that? I mean, he doesn't often stand on the podium, let alone the top step, and he's flying that G for us. So Gisborne's had a real successful year as far as championship wins go. So yeah, how good's that? I'm really stoked for him and his crew.
Yeah, pretty impressive actually to see the G making the finals. You know, that G, the track being represented A, to see the G there. We were talking about that, and just the G is like, holy hell, what happened to that other leather that used to be dominant back in the day from down Palmy, but now it's just the G, and bloody good to see.
Yeah, I was part of that other leather. You know, we were all we just go to those things, but if you had said to me 6-7 years ago that it would turn like that, I would have laughed at you. But pretty impressed these days. And we have a little shuffle, you know, a bit of a laugh to ourselves. You know, 2 or 3 Ps qualify and 7 or 8 Gisborne cars. So it's just turned around. They'll come back, and you know the rivalries still be there, and we'll have good times on track and have social times off track.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, it blew me away actually how many you see when you look through the list now, and there's so many competitive. It's so competitive. Like who's that? James, is it James Clark? Is it James Clark? Is that his name? The G? What's his name? KINSER. We always say he's always sneaks through just quietly. And he's fast as, isn't he?
29G. Young Grant, James Grant.
Is it?
Is it James Grant?
James Clark.
It is James Clark. Yeah, I was right.
Well,
he goes bloody well,
Pete? He goes real well.
Yeah.
Like he's lucky enough to have a father-in-law that supplies the car, and he works with us. He actually lives in Waikanae now.
Oh yeah.
Works in Waikanae as well. He moved down from Gisborne to go home. He started a family. So he's kind of walked into that drive, and he respects that drive too, and he goes well, you know. And like I say, he's a quiet achiever, but there's going to be that day that he's going to have points in that final heat, and he's going to have the mates around him to get home.
Yeah.
And win that final heat.
Yeah. I've been impressed with him all season actually. Even at New Zealand and Huntley, I thought we were talking Aiken, you know, like he qualified and he was so close on so many aspects, wasn't he? And he nearly qualified, didn't he? Because he was so close in that last heat. And we were like, shit, he's going to get through. And then, just unlucky. One
of those unlucky guys. Yeah. He is. James Clark, that's him. And, you know, you're right, Pete. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to be on the podium. You know, if I go back to, he jumped in and filled in for Regan O'Brien with the Hawkeyes, and he stood out for them at Palmy. So he's a talented guy, and he's proven that, obviously. So, wait to see what happens there. Mate, let's go back to, obviously, this Saturday. The Rees Superstock Challenge. It's going to be a big day at Gizzy, and I see Carl Carpendale's just commented the Gisborne track was absolutely fast, so best of luck, Pete, for the weekend. It's a fast track, mate.
It's a real fast track. It's about 2 metres shorter than Palmerston North pole line, but about 1.5 to 2 seconds faster.
Wow.
So
that's
as a competitor driver, yeah, I know, on that track it's exciting, and each and everyone that goes over there, the feedback we get is, man, that's cool. You know, long way over, long way back, but while you're there, it's very exciting, good fun to race on.
So the Gizzy track, what made you decide Gisborne, Pete, when you switched your codes? What was your what made you go, let's go Gizzy?
Well, it's a couple of things. We knew the Brent Lloyd up there back in the day. He used to race down here in Palmy actually, and he worked for me. And he had a stock car, and he used to travel down here to get experience and race with us. There's one thing. And the other thing was we liked the teams race. And when we made our mind to move on, we were going to miss out on teams racing that year. So Rotorua had the teams at the time and talked to Sonia Hickey. What team has entered but hasn't got a full team, is not named? She said Gisborne. So that took our box, and we rang them, and they shuffled some things around without treading on some people's toes. And next thing we're in that team, the three of us, Asher, myself, and Ethan, and Brentwood was in there, and we went over to Rotorua and had a good time, and we took it back to Gisborne that year. So we've just stayed there ever since.
Yeah. I know the manager of the Giants team, Scotty, because where I live in Pyro, he used to be here in Pyro back in the days, going way back. Mate used to be the manager of our local farmlands business and company Yits in town, and that's how I met Scotty and knew him. And I seen him tripping around with you guys, and he just loves it, enjoys the management side of things. You touched on the track and the speeds that you can get up to on the Gisborne track, even though it's a bit shorter than Palmy, but maybe a second and a half to 2 seconds. What is it about that track that makes you go faster? Is it the banking?
Yeah, basically the banking.
Okay.
So on corner entry, because of banking, that holds your speed a whole lot more. So you carry a whole lot more speed out the corner, down the straight, back in the next corner. That's the only difference, the banking.
So if a Rees wins this weekend, what happens? I've seen people on social media saying different things. So I thought, get it straight from the horse's mouth. What happens if a Rees wins this weekend?
If this Rees wins this weekend, I'll swap it for second.
Okay.
If they want to swap it for second. It's not fair that the other Reeses can't win it, because basically I own most of their cars. It'd be a good chance for them to own a chassis and start working on owning their own car, just like I did back in the day when I was a young fella. So basically, I can't win it, but everyone else can.
Oh, very cool. Okay, well, there you go, people. I've seen all the posts over social media and the different opinions of what is going to happen. I thought, well, we'll ask you, and then we know. So, that's good. It's good that, so Asher and Ethan can still win it as well. So, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good.
It just makes sense. They've got a financial interest in their own car, so that'll build up on that. Josh has got a small financial interest in his car, so he would love to win that thing.
Oh, Josh.
And come third heat, we'll be talking about that. But I mean, those guys that are going across there, it would be great to see any one of them win that prize.
I was actually thinking it would be good to see a non-Rees car win it. Not no offense, but then see someone else get into a Rees car, and then if you see them start winning all these races suddenly, and their average goes up, well, that just makes it look fantastic. We already know the Rees Hartley combination is fantastic. I mean, that's the proofs in the pudding this year. But wouldn't that? Do you think that'd be you would enjoy that more if someone that didn't have a Rees chassis started to become that new Rees customer now?
Well, to be fair, that's what we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
People have moved away from their home-built cars, their other built cars. They've got into ours. We've changed these cars quite a bit in the last 4 years, and the results, because we get feedback every week. Most of my Sundays on the phone getting feedback from the Saturday night racing. So to be fair, we see that all the time. It's happening again this year's waters. I've got people are moving into my chassis away from other ones, so I see it all the time. So it wouldn't really worry me if I went to a current owner, be an upgrade for them or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's there for the taking. Someone's going to win it.
Yeah,
Is it being filmed or streamed, this meeting?
Unfortunately, the boats have let us down. Jace has got one fan in the South Island and one up here at Stratford for the Midget New Zealand's. He couldn't get the other one up. There's a small chance if the midgets are called on Saturday, he'll get across, but only a small chance.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, well.
It's a bugger. Because normally, I think, isn't it Kiwi Motorsport may have travelled to...
Kiwi Media Motorsport, I think, does Gisborne sometimes, yeah. But I don't think Mearney's running this weekend. I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't know.
Something might pop up. Might just have to watch this space and see what happens over the next couple of days. Just to reiterate as well, another GX Grand Prix win in the Superstocks. That was up in Auckland. There was Tim Ross as well. Just a question for you, Pete, from Wayne Otten, who always watches our show. He's been travelling recently as well, following the Speedway. Pete, were you concerned at the level of cage damage on Mick Rumney's car?
Oh, I wasn't concerned, wasn't surprised, but the cage did its job. Mick walked away.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to Mick himself. I've talked to the car owner. There may be a chassis in the line for him. And when I do chassis, I ask the question about the size of the roll cage that we use these days, because we use the bigger one. And straight away, it was a big one.
Yeah.
So we're all starting to see the results. Like I did a big roll at the Palmy teams. It's been a couple of rolls. Quinn Ryan did a big roll at New Zealand with the big cage on. The cage damage was very minimal compared to what Mick's was. Although every roll is different and every situation is different. But if you watch that roll time and time again, it was I think with one of our bigger cages that are 25% stronger, it would have been less damage. But however, it did its job for Mick.
That was a big hit though, wasn't he? He was on his side and he got hit hard. You know, I don't think there would be much that would have stood up to that though. Would there really, Pete, and being realistic about it?
No, there'd probably be less damage, but I mean, like I say, the cage did its job. It was awful to see afterwards, but good to see Mick out.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. 100%.
I remember years ago, I think I was down in Wellington watching a meeting down there, and might have been the 501 or 510 car. Kerry Brown, I might be right. I can't remember the name to be exact. I remember they had a bit of roll cage damage back in the day. That's going back in the day. Someone will clarify that for me on the stream. Amaron, Ams, best of luck with the event this weekend, Pete. I would love to get over to Gizzy one day to watch Superstocks. One day. So hopefully I just go well and all the best. What do we got? 11.7 degree banking, a 15.1 lap time. Kyle Carpenter just clarifying there. Gav Taniwha, good to have you on the show watching, mate. Scott Phipps, so we'll have to catch up sometime and have a chat with you. We're looking forward to seeing this meeting this weekend, seeing the results. Best of luck to Pete and the family from the Phipps Motorsport team over there in Brisbane. And yeah, heaps going on.
Yeah, Thomas Slater's got care about you, Pete. So Thomas is watching.
That's a private joke. He's a sick guy.
Hey, just on the Thomas thing too, people. It reminds me, we are still doing that auction, everybody. We just had put it off while the devastation was happening in Hawke's Bay and Gisborne and Wairua area. So we are going to be doing that again soon. That auction's going to fire back up with all that gear we've got. So people are starting to send all the gear into us now and all the prizes. So we've just got to sit down with Thomas and work out the logistics. But we might even do it from up that way, Kins. Do the auction from up that way. So, but it is still happening, people. That auction for those two charities. So.
Yeah, that's right. For Go Slideaways, for the Paulridge family, and also for the New Zealand Cancer Society, were the two we'd looked at. So definitely on the cards. And at this stage, we're hoping to do it in the next month or so. Just keep an eye on our Kokpit Media Facebook page. A long way from Miami to Gisborne at the moment, Dave Thomas. Yeah, it's a bit of a travel there. So he's got Terry Brown. It was Terry Brown. The Night Boys Kins. Yeah, Terry Brown, 1996. Thanks for that, TNC. Yeah, that's right. But at 501 GM at the time. Yeah, I knew someone would clarify all that stuff with me back in the day. When will the South Island Rees tour be?
March next year.
March.
There we go.
Cool.
That chassis we're talking about is in the Hawke's Bay.
Yeah.
Can you get Pete to ring me after the show, Mike Pugh?
I just missed 2 calls from him. Did you hear the phone ring?
Yeah, get in the phone ringing. Yeah, we can hear the phone ringing.
Now he's found out why you're not answering the phone, Pete. Hey, listen, I'm interested.
Obviously, you got a big week.
Oh, sorry, go.
Sorry, you got a big. I'll get this in. You got a big weekend this weekend, Pete. On Saturday. What else is on the agenda for the race season for the Rees family?
Easter's off. Traditionally I start new builds on Easter, normally myself, but we're not doing new cars for ourselves this year, so we'll start a customer car this Easter. And then we've got Chamber Champs back in Gisborne the weekend after, 2 nights. Best pairs, NTF points, and all of that. It's our final meeting. Then we have Auckland teams, and then we have Huntley teams, a rerun of Huntley teams, Pollock, Crane teams, and Huntley, one nighter.
Is there going to be? Did I hear something about your development team's going to be putting a team in for something as well? Is that right or no? Have I heard a rumor that's wrong there?
Our development team's been available all year for Huntley and some private teams racing. Where we're going to do some friendlies, if you want to say that. I'm not sure if they're needed at Huntley this time round. We'll tackle that after we get through Auckland and get our feet back on the ground.
I really do like that idea of you guys doing a development team. I think it's a fantastic way to bleed through the young fellas into teams racing, you know. You seem to just do a lot of, I don't know how to put it, like you're advancing your chassis all the time, and now doing this development team, you're sort of setting some new standards of easy ways to get things done. You know, it should be done, because we're getting.
Well, been teams racing a handful of years, and you always see when a team's going really good, then they go shit.
Yeah.
Because they've worried about who they've got at the time, and then through most of the time it's unforeseen circumstances, things change, and they missed a couple of key guys, and it takes them a couple of years to replenish that.
Yeah.
So we don't want to be that team. You know, with my age and well, anything can happen. So we want to have people or guys that can just step in and fulfill that team and go just as good as we are now.
Yeah.
Most of the Superstock drivers I've interviewed on our show, and you ask them the question, you know, they all would love to do teams racing week in and week out. You know, it seems to be the love for it. But what you're doing, Pete, is you're giving these young guys, obviously they've got the cars to do it, but also they've got a bit of talent to do it as well. When you talk about the young James brothers, they're talented drivers, and they're not shy to use their bumpers. We've seen that in some of the championship meetings that you and I have been to, Books. You know, they're not scared to give it a go. And hey, if it's about developing the driver for a future of a team and the success, albeit, and you're doing a bloody good job at it too. So just quickly, other reason we touched at the start of the show was when we had Pete, Asher, Ethan, and Josh on, there was a few technical issues. So Tyler Finch, just for your question, what was your thoughts when Asher and Ethan made the podium at the New Zealand's at Huntley there, Peter?
I was gutted because they were on there and I wasn't. Obviously proud.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it took them a while to sink it in. I remember when I won one once, it took me a while to sink it in. It's quite a big thing. On the night, kind of unbelievable to be fair. But it could have gone 26 ways, sort of thing. So no, real cool. You know, we just get on with it. It hasn't changed them. You know, people say it does change it. It hasn't changed these guys. We just make plans for the next race meeting, make plans for the next season, make plans for the off season. Yeah, it's just a really, really cool thing, and real stoked for Josh as well.
Yeah, I was going to say your third son too, mate. Don't forget him.
Well, to be fair, that rain-off helped Josh because he wasn't at the first New Zealand's. We didn't have the car finished.
Yeah.
240s. He helped the podium result there because he went out and looked after myself and Ethan, and then you know he got his 2NZ at Huntley. So that you know you can't really script that. That just happened.
Yeah, 100%. It is. It's like a movie within the making when you think about it. Some of those bloody movies that you see in other sports. Hey, just thinking too. Now you touched on that, and thinking what they achieved too. Just quickly, too, I saw a video on the Facebook yesterday of the T-shirt with the 1, 2, and 3 and Z being printed. There was a bit of a video clip that came up from the actual T-shirt company. So looks like they're going to be out and about soon. Dave Thomas, how many tracks you're looking at doing in the South Island come March next year, Pete?
Before it was cancelled, we had 7 arranged. So we'll talk to those 7 again because I think that's the only amount of tracks down there that hold a Speedway New Zealand licence. So we'll try and do the 7 within the 2 weeks or just over a 2-week period. And if they're all keen, we'll make it work.
Wicked. For you books on Wayne Norton, maybe put the Rees tour dates on the back of your big rig, a bit of free promo there for your books.
My big rig. Me and my dog. Right. My dog might have to learn how to drive.
Amaron's actually just put up a message here. A development teams event will run alongside the Huntley Superstock teams event next season as well. So there you go. There's that opportunity for development at an actual teams event as well. So that's something we'll catch up with AMS when they get a bit more clarity around that, and we can have a bit of a chat. Michael Hempel's jumped in, the Mighty G all day. Shane Shirley's jumped in right now, Mighty Goodley. Sorry to say, but the Hawkeyes are going through their phase of new blood in.
Yes,
yeah,
they are.
And yeah, there are a lot of teams going through that. And look, that was pretty ominous when you take a look at the young team that was part of the Glen Eagles and won the Palmy teams. And actually talking to one of those guys who one of the winners, we caught up with them at the actual Rosie O'Grady, I think it was, himself and, bloody sponge boy, Harley. We spoke
Rob.
with him when they won today. Yeah, we're going to catch up with Scott Tenner hopefully very soon. Not too far away.
So, I got a question actually. We're going back quite a few haircuts now, I suppose. But what made you decide I want to start building my own chassis and selling them, Pete? Like, we knew you started building your own chassis for yourself years ago. I mean, I remember watching you back when you started because I'm Palmy born and bred as well. But that switch to turn around and make it a permanent job, was it because you had people asking for it, or you just something you thought, bugger it, I want to get into this to start building my chassis?
Yeah, I definitely didn't plan this. This happened. I had a normal job, full-time job, had several actually. And after hours, I like to build my own car, do different things. You meet people on the way through and you do things, and then people just approach us, I wouldn't mind one of them. And then it just started from there. So my 40-hour-a-week job turned into that plus a 40-hour job in the shed at night. So I just come to a point, 2 or 3 years of that, had to make a decision, do that or do that. Otherwise, I'd just wear myself out. So I did the stock car thing, and it's been really, really good for the last 20 years.
Your development over that 20 years has been incredible. I mean, it's to where it is now. I mean, you can't really dispute it now. I suppose it is the top chassis at the moment. I mean, when you look at podiums all over the country, it's always Rees on the podium, isn't there? It's that chassis is now proven and tried and true, and people want it.
Yeah, but it's quite unique because there's 3 of us, as in the 2 boys and myself, and then there's all the customers, and then there's Josh. The feedback we get helps us develop these chassis, negative or positive feedback. I take it all in, and then the boys, the way they drive, they can actually drive a badly set up car and make it look good, and then we work on that car to make it good. And then, all the customers, I spend a lot of time talking to customers to get their feedback, win or lose. And then we just keep putting it into the cars, But we're keeping these cars here because we actually really think these cars are cool. But I'm building 2 other cars, one with a different engine in it and one actually for a spare car. And they will be slightly different. Probably not that you can see, but they will be different. And then we can digest and see if that's worked better or not.
Oh, so you're sort of going to build a sort of a development chassis to try while you're still racing your other one?
Yeah, like if you go back to last weekend, if I could do it again and if I could afford it, we'd have 3 different cars for that because our cars didn't actually shine or suit that track. We were there or thereabouts,
Yeah.
but we could go back there with a different engine combination and go faster, I believe.
Yeah, it did look like you were a little bit off the pace, actually. I thought Ethan looked a bit off the pace watching the stream. So, yeah, it's interesting that, yeah. I suppose that when you're a chassis builder, you're always trying to develop something new, aren't you? If you stop trying to, it's like a competitor. If you stop trying to have that go, you might as well not be doing it anymore.
Well, the day you get complacent is the day you start slowing down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
100%,
so we're not
mate.
complacent. We've had big discussions since that day, and we're changing some things, but mainly like that track's a unique track. It's an equalising track. You know, we haven't been there for 3 years. We've probably got a little bit caught out. Ethan hasn't done a lot of racing this year. Like, there's probably 20 reasons, but we'll dissect all of that, and then we'll change part of the car the next time we go back to Stratford.
Yeah. Should have been 3 seasons. I suppose with COVID, you forget that COVID took out a season, don't you, sometimes? And, you know, and like Ethan took a while before he started the season this year too, didn't he, before he started racing? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's going on, but when we traditionally go up to Stratford 2 or 3 times, if not more, we chase their championships, but just for unseen circumstances, we never got there. You know,
Yeah.
We struggle to drive past Wanganui sometimes, and they clash, and you know, we've got different criteria to meet this New Zealand thing. We've got to do 5 meetings in our home track, so basically we just ran out of time, and it hasn't worked out, but. I mean, we enjoy Stratford. The guys up there, the people up there are real cool. Got a lot of customers up there. So there's no other reason except that we just have been too busy to get up there.
Yeah. Well, when we were there about over a year ago, wasn't a books or something like that?
Yeah, we did their practice. We went and did their practice for them and did that Legends night. Yeah.
Yeah, they were a good bloody host, and they're just so bloody genuine down there and really love Speedway. Well, Stratford's history will actually show that. Dave Thomas with the 3 factory stock cars be still happening. Whatever he means by that.
Oh, it
mate.
means like you were going to do stock cars as well as supers this year, weren't you, Pete, originally?
Oh,
yeah.
Probably not the 3 of them, definitely a couple of them. They'll be popping up next year. We've got to get a young lady into one of them. We've got to test it and tune it. We just simply ran out of time. I mean, the engine builder built us an engine, so it wasn't his fault. We simply ran out of time. We got behind on chassis this year, so once we catch up on those and start next year's builds, we'll start the stock cars.
Hey, Pete, tell us more about the Gisborne Giant fundraiser. Tell us all about that. I've seen all the posters shared everywhere, all over social media going nuts. Tell us all about that night.
Oh, well, I think it's just the club had a bit of an idea to entice us up there a little bit earlier with the Tesla deal, and floated the idea around to local businesses and so on. And over the last couple of weeks, man, it's grown. If you watch the Gisborne Facebook page, the stuff that's going on there that's going to be auctioned off, really, really cool stuff. And a lot of people are saying to me, how do we get hold of that? So we're saying put a big high bid in before the night and you might get it or whatever. But it's just the locals support the Giants, and we don't get there a hell of a lot. So, you know, we're going there this weekend. It's just a bit of a chance for them to thank us, put a little bit of money into our Giants bank account for next season.
Yeah.
And,
Wayne Slater's
we'll have a good night too.
Yeah, now looking forward to it. It should be a massive night. We talked a bit about Thomas Slater beforehand as well, having a bit of cheek there with you. Now Wayne's jumped in here. Wayne Slater looking fresh, the legend. That's his comment. So
is that the best he can do?
Is that it?
Thomas has come back in now too.
Yeah, Thomas has jumped in now, mate, and says, hope you do your hair before tomorrow. Jeez, he's a smart ass.
I've got more than him. Well, I'm actually going up to the Slaters in Tauranga tomorrow afternoon. Stay the night, God help me, and have a look at their cars and make plans for their future. If they've got one with us, I'm not sure.
You might be a bit salty driving the next day after that, mate.
No, it's an alcohol-free weekend for me, and I've told the boys, so they're buying all alcohol. But I'm going to get up there, catch up with a few customers, and make a bit of a 4-day weekend of it.
Oh, awesome. Are both the boys going with you on that same trip, or just you and you're going to meet them at Gizzy?
No, Ash is going. He was supposed to come, but he's going Friday morning, I believe. Josh and Ethan are going halfway Friday night. So no, we're all staggered. My service truck's coming up with me. Lucky enough to find a driver for that, so he's going to follow me up.
Oh yeah, cool.
Awesome.
That service truck, I must say that service
Rees,
truck's freaking awesome, eh? Like, I mean, you originally you've told us, you've done it to help your customers and stuff like that, but I still remember when none of yous were entered at the New Zealand's stock cars at Miami, but Ethan and that, they were there, you were all there helping everyone else get back on the track in between races. I mean, people have got to stop and think about how much you guys give back to the Speedway fraternity. And, even these bloody baggers and idiots out there that I mean, you guys do so much more behind the scenes when it comes to it with helping people out, even if they're not a Rees car.
Yeah, but we're all the same sport.
Yeah.
And the big picture is they might have a Rees car one day, or we might need their help one day, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What goes around comes around, eh? As
Yeah.
long as you're looking
Well,
out for each other. Yeah,
If it
hopefully.
doesn't, they can just get fucking hot dog stand the next week.
Well, we've got our other mate just sitting there, just chilling out. Looks like he's playing on his phone, Scotty Tennant. I want to bring him in for a few words and have a little chat with him while Pete's here.
Okay.
Because Pete's been a familiar winner in stock cars. He's done nearly every bloody thing there.
Yeah.
There he is. Scotty, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, again here, clear is. Hey, congrats, mate. Congrats on winning the weekend, New Zealand Stockcar Grand Prix.
Yeah, thanks. It was cool. Kiki's always been a good place for me, so no, it was cool to get the win there, and a bit of a happy hunting ground. So no, I was stoked.
Are you still at the set, Scott?
You are?
It looks like Scott's still at the
I'm still
set.
there. Yeah, I'm at the track.
That's flash for me. I can't do that.
No,
You got the real thing behind you.
We'll have to set him up. We'll have to set him up with a green screen and stuff next time, eh?
He's got the real thing behind him. The bloody
Yeah.
real thing sitting right there. Hey,
Yeah, it's a bit-
mate, Scotty, can this season get any better for you?
Oh, yeah.
Because, mate, when you think of what you've done at Palmy, then of course you've done
Huntley.
and then what you've done at Kiki.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream, really, isn't it? It's going all right. No, it's it's been going awesome, and just really stoked, and there's not a lot of hard work that's been put in behind the scenes, not from me, from a lot of people to get me there. So it's a really all just payback from them for the people that supported me over the years, and I'm finally glad to give them a few titles to thank them for their support. So it's awesome.
You've did that all before, eh, Pete? You've done that stuff. What we're talking about here, eh, mate? How many times you've done all that stuff?
And I can just kind of feel how Scott feels now.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while you can. You're on form. You're having the best season of your life.
Yeah, I think as well when you win a few, you actually appreciate it. I think I'm hungrier than ever, to be honest. Since winning one, now I know what it feels like. I just want to go out and you race every week now. I don't know what it is. It's a little fire under me.
It sort of rejuvenated you, mate. You made you want to just get more and more speedway into you.
I guess so. I don't know what it is really this season. I don't know. I've not been really doing much different. Maybe a different approach from me more than any, or a better attitude, I guess. Maybe I don't know. But it's awesome, and I know. It's all well. I just found the place really. You can't really get anything better. Those are the meetings you dream of winning one day, and to do them all in quick succession. It doesn't get any better.
Mate, when I think about it, Scotty, too, because you took a bit of a break, eh? You had a hell of a break, actually. A few years, we used to catch it down in Palmy. We were just loafing around, watching it with the mates, kicking back up there in the grandstand, doing what Scotty does and having fun and having a few quiet ones, but enjoyed himself. And
Yep.
I always wondered when was going to be that time that Scott Tennant was going to return and come back and race the car, because I remember you racing for Auckland years gone by, mate, and you left nothing behind on the car on the track, and you were trying to block nearly everything you could. You just gave it your all, and you kind of had a break. And I think there was a bit of a talk about maybe thinking of doing some drifting and that type of stuff and whatever happened there. But mate, you come back on the scene. How long was that break?
Oh well, I don't think I ever did I think it might have been one season where I didn't race at all. Like I raced something every now and again. I don't know, maybe just fell out of love with the sport, I guess. But obviously, into stock cars was in Auckland, and I said to myself, I'm not going to sit on the sideline and watch it. I want to be out there racing, whether it's in constellations or if I get blown a bit's qualifying. I don't care. I just want to be out there doing it. And so that was really the first goal. No more than that, really. I just don't want to watch stock car NZs at home. I wanted to be out there racing. So yeah, and I don't know, I guess a different approach. I've sort of taken a bit more hands-on with what I'm doing with my car and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's different. I don't know. I'm enjoying my time at the moment. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
It's awesome,
mate. Look, you've got Pete there sitting there, and we've been talking to Pete for the last 40 odd minutes or so. He's proud of his sons, actually, what they've achieved as well. When you think both of them got on the podium at the New Zealand Superstocks. How's Dad feeling now at the moment with what you've achieved with those three kind of titles as such? What's Dave thinking at the moment?
Oh, he's pretty stoked. I think the most emotional one he got was the team's one. It was pretty special to him. So, I think he's pretty stoked. And he puts in hours and hours in the shed. Like, I couldn't repay him for the amount of time he puts into my racing. And I wouldn't be out there without him. So, I guess all his time, makes it worthwhile for him. All the hours he's puts in, to see me go out there and do it week in, week out. But I think it was pretty special, some of those victories for him.
Right. No doubt, obviously, the Glen Eagles will be up at Team Nats in Auckland.
Yeah, I think it's the plan. We're pretty lax bunch of guys, to be honest. Like, it's all, go the last week out from teams. So, if they're there, I'll be in the team. I don't know, not too sure. I think pretty sure the boys are keen. I don't know. Yeah, I leave it up to them. Really, I just jump in and drive the car. They're a pretty cool bunch of guys, and I enjoyed every second of it, being a part of the team, and would love to go out with them in Auckland. So you'll see what happens, I guess.
Mate, you'd love to have a go, and I'm going to ask you quickly while you've got that bloody T-shirt on there. It's got a picture on Malcolm Super Saloon.
Yeah.
Would you have a go in something like that? Would you have a go in it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like Super Saloons. Well, that's pretty much where, Superstock drivers are going to take over that class soon, aren't they? There's that many in there. I mean, like when you think of some of the drivers in there, Malcolm Nartai and Ricky Bolton, they're not super saloon drivers, are they? They're stock car drivers down to a T. So I don't know how rough the racing gets for those two, but yeah, obviously a few more guys going there, and they're cool. Like they're a cool class, and obviously with the 4-bar and torsion bar battle going on at the moment, or your swing arm battle. It's brought some life into the class, and no, they're cool. They are cool class. Sprint car, I think, would probably be maybe a bit more up my alley. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Or something open wheel maybe. But Super Saloon would be cool too. But I'm enjoying my stock car racing at the moment.
What about you, Pete? You ever thought about driving something else?
For me?
Yeah, you ever thought of getting into trying anything else?
Had to go to a mini sprint once. That wasn't me. Nah, probably not. Open wheel has done turn me on. I'm not sure about saloon cars. I'll have a go, but I don't know. Hard to say. Still enjoying Superstock.
I got Horses commented there, Kins, too. I see after he's put a comment after the Slater boys and put to Pete, you might need to give that 7.8 some bumper.
7.8, what one's he?
7.8, which Slater is that in that Thomas?
Is that Thomas?
Bumper. Yeah. It takes $10 with them, you can get 2 hot dogs and chips.
Scotty, is this right? 5 wins in the third the whole weekend?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Oh, that's dominant. I see.
Yeah.
I see his mate put a comment up there too. I've lost it now from down south there, saying you're not swearing like you were at Rosie's this time.
No, yeah. There's probably a few too many orange juices being drunk.
Mate, we warned everybody before you two came on anyway. So
yeah, I said I wasn't going to do it. Harley, like, please don't swear, Scott. Like, don't do it. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm on the level. I'm sweet, and yeah, it wasn't long, eh?
Listen, it was. We didn't mind. I think people knew you guys were celebrating something pretty special that weekend or that day, that night. So to come on in the middle of our show from the pub, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. But I got I was lucky enough to have a pretty good run and get 5 wins at Kiki. And yeah, it was a weird sort of track, eh? Like I raced here once before earlier on the season. The car went real good, but I blew a gearbox before it really got started. So I always knew the car was faster on there. It was just I don't know, just a matter of putting it all together. It just seemed to fall into place. You know, sometimes you get those races which you don't seem to do a lot, but you're there at the end of it, or fighting for the lead, towards the end. I'm sure Pete knows that more than anyone. Sometimes it just falls into it's all going your way, and then other times, it's not going your way at all. So
wicked, mate, wicked. Peter B was fast at Miani on Saturday. He was actually, saw a bit of coverage there as well. And like Harley said, Book says he's not swearing. Dad had a big smile. Wayne, you're right. Aaron Sidewinder, you handsome dude. Sidewinder, the old online racing.
That's the old online name, is it?
yeah.
See, Andy Lee here's got any jobs, Pete? That must be someone looking for a job.
Yeah. Ash and I got to sit down and work out what we're going to do with staff, because we do need some. So, but it's a hard role to cover here. Like, we're so far out of town, and so the travel's there, and so yeah, we're going to touch. We're going to sit down in May and decide where we're going to go with staff wise, and when we realize when we know totally what we've got to build this winter.
Yeah, actually, talking about building chassis, obviously they're trying to grow the stock car class over in Australia. Have you had a phone call from across the ditch yet?
Oh, our mate is actually a cousin of my ex-missus's, if you can follow all that drama. Justin Burr used to help Dave Evans' pit crew.
Yeah.
Of all things. He's moved over there. He's in Brisbane, and he's been over here, actually made plans of my cars, and I haven't even got plans. And he's started building. He's got a couple on track, and he's actually leading the way over there to build these cars. And there's a lot of Kiwis over there that are interested in doing it too. So he's kind of building that class up over there. And I've raced over there. It's a cool class. Their rules are a little bit different, but he's trying to entice them to come our way more than their way.
Yeah, young Scotty Phipps is over there with his chassis, isn't he? And old Noel's just been over and helped him. Noel Phipps has just been over there and helped him adjust his chassis up a bit as well. So
yeah, they got some pretty cool tracks too, from what I saw over there. So they'll get there, especially with the Kiwis involved over there.
I'm just thinking too what the boys achieved on the podium. I'm guessing the UK will be knocking on your door, giving you a phone call. That must be. Is that going to be on the cards, or is that going to happen, or any communication with that?
It's been talked about. We talked about it with Guy Parker at teams and Frankie Wayman. We haven't decided yet. I mean, Ethan's up for one, Ash is up for one. They take 4. Technically, I could be up for one. Josh is there on 2 and Z. But yeah, we haven't decided. And then Ethan's got his work, his new work, and we've got work. So it's and none of us like flying, especially me. So we'll decide in May. Once the season's finished.
Scotty, is that something you'd love to do, mate? Go and represent NZ over there, because I know Dad's been there, and you'd love to go over there, mate, and do it one day.
Yeah, for sure. I was, looking at. It's actually funny you say that. Actually, my sister and grandparents are going over there for a bit of a holiday, and I was sort of looking like there's I think it's some family gathering or something on it. They're going to hate me for not remembering, but there's something over there that's going on, and I was just like, I wonder if that's the same time as the World Final over there, but it wasn't. So I'm not going to go this year, but no, absolutely. You know, like their sort of racing is pretty intense, and obviously, you know, I've been over there a couple of times. I've been over there once watching Dad and stuff. So yeah, it'd be a dream to go over there at one stage. It's a few tracks are falling away over there. It's a bit sad to see some of the old venues, Coventry now, and a few of the others not around anymore. But no, obviously the all fierce competitors that come over here, so it'd be cool to go and experience, you know, stock cars over there.
Yeah, I saw a picture of the Tom Harris machine recently on social media pop up, and
Looks
like,
okay.
holy hell, wicked, bro! What
Yep.
the hell? Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's
unbelievable.
We just can't run their wings over here.
You tried, yeah. They look bloody good at Rotorua. They look bloody awesome. You tried.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was the size of them, because Charlie's was heaps bigger than bloody Ash's one.
I know what the story is. Asher was telling me off camera in Huntley, mate. He wasn't happy. And I get it too. Yeah.
I think Charlie's one was 1-to-1 scale with the actual. They had someone measuring one up over there, so it was exactly the same as what their ones are. So.
Yeah.
I like them. I thought they looked freaking cool. I did. You weren't a fan of them, were you, Pete?
The cost to build them, they would be a bit of a hazard or a safety thing, if you want to call it safety. And yeah, just do we need to go down that road? Good for sponsors and stuff, but build one and put it on for a Grand Parade or something. I don't know.
And then take it off for the race. Yeah.
I think it's cool.
I was part of the technical committee that got asked about it, and I was a firm no on the wing.
Oh, well, there you go.
And Ashes in the head. So I mean, he looked at me a bit sideways, but it's a simple no.
They look cool, eh, Scotty?
Yeah, I thought, like, after seeing them in person, like, you hear about them, you're like, oh, how's that going to work? But after seeing them, I was like, oh, yeah, they actually look pretty cool. But, you know, I always like it when they're copying stuff that we're doing here rather than we're copying them, you know? So it's usually better that's the other way around.
Yeah, better us being the leaders, eh?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like, you know, like, there's not much to their cars when you break them down compared to ours. So, you know, I prefer it when they're copying us rather than us copying them.
Dave Thomas, I guess a Rees mini stock is in the thinking stage, Pete.
We've built 4 or 5 or 6 of those when the boys are racing. I mean for my girls.
Oh, I don't know. He's just asking. He's thinking mini stocks. Yeah, I know you've done a few of them for the boys back in the day.
I tell you, if the girls want to go to the mini stocks, I'd let them, but for the reason that gets them off the street and teaches them how to drive a car way before they actually can drive on the road. That'll be the reason they can do that.
Yeah, you're twisting my arm, really, honestly. My grandson's sitting here at home and he's like, it's the last thing he wants. He knows he wants one, and he's been after one for. He's only,
come on, Papa, you need to buy a mini stock. You need to go buy a Rees mini stock.
Oh, no. To put up his bloody motocross bike. Hey?
The big wing from England.
Little bastard. He's going to put his motorbike up in the shed, a Supercross bike, and that's well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'd like to thank Peter as my orders have increased for Rees drawings from Muddy Goodley. He does amazing artwork. Wayne,
he did one the other day, Kins.
Yeah, I've seen
have you seen that, Peter? Oh no, have you seen on social media? He did there's a picture that was taken of the 3 of you guys on the track. I think it was a GH picture, was it? I think might have taken it, and he's redrawn that out of pencil.
I think Ethan showed me that picture, the actual picture.
Yeah.
And it had flames coming out each of our pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool picture. That's a unique. He's quick on the button, that GH guy, isn't he?
Yeah. He always gets that shot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Wayne Knowlton, what companies in support make up the Rees race car? What companies in support make up a Rees race car?
So I think he might be talking is that what brand of shocks or what products do you use? What products make up the Rees race car beside the steel chassis work?
Oh, well, all the racer cars got a Hartley power plant, and I get my bits from two supply companies, Pro Parts and Fastlane. They don't clash the parts; they're unique parts together. It works really well, and the rest is done in the house.
There we go.
There you go. There you go, Wayne. Awesome.
Hopefully that answers a lot of questions around the
Right.
technical side of things. What are you going to say,
Race
Scotty?
sticks as well. Race sticks as well, Pete.
Oh yeah, jeez, I get race sticks too. And he'll shoot me too because he actually
Yeah,
wants me to
well,
race stick this year.
well, there you go. Well, think of me next time.
As Scott said, it's more important.
Okay, all right. That just about brings us to a bit of a wrap for tonight's show. It's just clicked over 8:30. There's just so much on. Just a heads up too for those who are going to Auckland and watch the North Island Super Saloon Champs. That is starting at a new time, earlier time, only by half an hour. 6:30 race will get underway there. Also, good luck to all of those in Straddie this weekend, Friday, Saturday, the Sign Right New Zealand Midget Champs. We're going to catch up and have a chat with some of them sometime soon as well. And yeah, just plenty of speedway going on around the countryside there, Books.
It is, mate, and it's exciting that it's still all happening. There's still some decent meetings going on around this weekend as well. So yeah, if you're in Gisborne, get out there. It'll be good for your mental health too to go and watch some racing and get your mind off all the other crap that's happened around our area. Get out there and support it. And yeah, have you got anything on this weekend, Scotty? What do you got on? Anything?
Well, I'm at the North Island Superstone, so it's lucky you mentioned because I'm always running late. Well, my car goes early, but I turn up late. So luckily you mentioned the start time. But if it's rained off, I'm not having a look at that Gisborne meeting. I think they've got a Rosetown Classic there, so I know the weather isn't that flash in Auckland this weekend. So hopefully we get a run. Otherwise, we'll try and run somewhere this weekend.
Mate,
Awesome.
are you still doing any online stuff, any simulation stuff, or are you too busy at the real thing?
It's been too hectic, and there's RCs, and I bought my own RC chassis last year, and all sorts of bits and pieces. So it's all go, and the boys are asking me for them this year, and it's been too hectic to do anything else really. No, it's just been mainly focusing on the real car at the moment.
Awesome.
I'm guilty of having too many hobbies. Like there's too much stuff to do, and never really doing one to the full. So I've just stock cars, just the main one at the moment.
Main. Wanganui's got the modifieds on. Brad Lane's just jumped in and said that. So yeah, that's all.
Well,
go
that'd be an
Wanganui.
interesting year. Modifieds at Wanganui. Shit, that'd be. I think I could handle watching that. Shit, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Brad will be wearing out plenty of Nerf bars running around the top of that track.
Well, he uses the wall for a bit of grip, he reckons, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he'll be wearing out the wall. There'll be nothing left of the place after he's done with it.
I must say, hats off to Brad actually at Woodford Glen, taking the time to go and see the poor little girl that unfortunately got hit by a bit of Brad's diff, I think it was, in the crowd. So well done to Brad to make that effort to go up there. I mean, it's just unfortunate. We know the risk we run when we go to Speedway. It can happen. It's a freak accident. It's unfortunate that the media portray it as such a. It seems that whenever we get the publicity for Speedway, it seems to be negative a lot of the time, doesn't it, with these things? So, but hats off to Brad and his team for making the effort to go see her, and just an unfortunate accident. So.
Yeah, and you're right about the negative portrayal. Like you look at compared to rugby or something like that, and there's nothing like that ever in the news.
Yeah.
Like that. It's but yeah, no, it's, I didn't actually know it was him, but yeah, obviously good on him.
Yeah, but we seem to get the negative portrayal from the media and the odd, I won't swear, person that likes to be a hater on people on the track and stuff as well, which annoys me. We had that the other week, which I went off about, but. Yeah, because myself and Reno are very big supporters of you can have your rivalries, but there's no need to be personal against drivers and teams, you know?
Exactly, mate.
I mean, yeah, and you can be on either side of that. And at the end of the day, like everyone loves a good rivalry, and that's what it's all about, like. But yeah,
it just doesn't need to get personal, though, Scotty? You know, that's my thoughts. You know,
you leave it on the track, and
leave it on the track. Whatever happens on the track stays out there. Go and have a beer later.
Yeah, because the drivers have a beer later afterwards, so the spectators should think about the way the drivers represent it, and then they might see the right way to do it, eh? So anyway, on that note, we'd like to thank both you guys for coming on and taking the time to talk to us tonight. And we wish you both the best for the rest of your season. And let's see if you can get that top step this weekend, Pete, for your own chassis, mate, or hand it down to the next person down.
Yeah, I'll take second prize, $3,000.
Yeah. Oh, Box, you'll have to catch a peek at all the decals for your Gisborne Giant stuff. So when you go travelling down with the busy to get your bloody little get your truck all sorted out, mate.
Has it got a tow bar on your truck?
Yeah, I have. Why, you want me to tow the trailer? We'll be on the tour.
Done deal.
Yeah, mate, I'll tow
Done
something
deal.
for you on the tour. I'll look after you, Pete. No
You
worries.
can tow the trailer, you go.
Yeah.
And you might have to put the old defending champs on one side with this fella and all that shit. You'll work it out, mate. You do what you're gonna do.
But you reckon?
I'll let you deal with that shit. Hey everyone, well thanks for watching our show tonight. That brings us to a wrap. Don't forget to also this weekend clocks go back an hour, so don't forget, Scotty, don't be too late, mate. An hour daylight savings comes to
I'm
an
late
end.
enough.
So,
I'm always late enough anyway, so
and we'll do another show next Wednesday as well. Don't forget it's a shortened week. Easter weekend's coming up, so you can eat all your chocolates next Friday through the Easter weekend, whatever you want to bloody do, that's up to you. But yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday, eh, Box?
We will, mate. And hopefully this guest we've been pestering will finally make it. So, yeah. But anyway, we'll say thank you and thanks for your time, guys, and see everybody next week.
Cheers, Pete. Cheers, Scotty.
cheers. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your all every time. And
When you're young and you get in the old man Superstock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Nanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?